Welcome to day 3. Today we're going to talk about transformation. What does that word even mean? And how is transformation different from learning? Learning is what we go through in school, right? Schools will teach you facts and figures and things so you do good in an exam. You hopefully make it to a university. You get a piece of paper that might guarantee you a job, and you get to work the 9 to 5 so that you can survive. That's an awfully boring, horrible way of looking at life. Transformation is very different from learning. You see, the problem with learning is whatever you learn, you often tend to forget. Learning is cramming your head with facts and figures. Studies show that even if you read a book and you're focused on learning, within 24 hours, you will forget 80% of what you read if you're the average person. Transformation doesn't work like that. Transformation is a perspective shift on life itself. It's an awakening. A mind expanded doesn't ever shrink back to its original size. When you transform, it's an irreversible shift. So, this is what we're going to be talking about today. What is it that causes our transformation from level 1 to level 2, from level 2 to level 3, from 3 to 4? What causes these transformative shifts to happen? First, we got to understand the basic academic definition of transformation, which is this. Transformation involves experiencing a deep structural shift in the basic premises of thought, feelings, and actions. It is a shift in consciousness that dramatically and irreversibly alters our way of being in the world. So, it's a deep structural shift, and it's a shift that dramatically and irreversibly changes our way of being in the world. The question is, what causes this shift? Well, for most people, there are two things, and almost all philosophers who study transformation agree on these two things. The first is the disorienting dilemma, or suffering. The second is evolved meaning schema over time, or wisdom. Let's look at the first one. By understanding these two, you understand how your life has been unfolding for you. Let's look at the first method of transformation, the disorienting dilemma. Rumi said, "The wound is where the light enters you." It is through our wounding, through our pain, that we often see the light. My wounding was my bad skin as a teenager. But from this disorienting dilemma, this suffering, I discovered the ability of my mind to heal my skin. This is true for so many of us. So many of us experience suffering and learn from that suffering. We go through bankruptcy and we learn how to be a better entrepreneur. We have our heart crushed to smithereens and we learn how to choose the right partner for us. We end up in hospital because we haven't been taking care of our health, and we learn how to value our bodies and truly take care of ourselves. The wounding can often lead to a great insight. The Rumi once wrote, "O ye who cannot take a good rub, how will you ever become a polished gem?" So that's the first thing that causes transformation. But there is a second manner. And the second thing is evolved meaning schema over time. So I call this the Yoda effect. Have you ever noticed that as you go through life, often you might meet the right mentors, you might stumble upon the right books, you might get into the right circle of friends, and new ideas enter your head, and you grow and you evolve. I started really taking care of my body only in the last 2 years because I ended up bringing into my company several men who were former fitness instructors, and they were so brilliant at how they treated their bodies. Their insights moved across the company, and before we knew it, so many of us here in our company were eating healthy, working out right, becoming each other's gym buddies. This was an example of evolved meaning schema over time. I evolved to see my body and respect my body in a different way. However, even though both of these are great ways to transform and create these irreversible perspective shifts, the thing is, because of the way they happen, transformation for most people is unpredictable and slow and fucking painful, especially when you go through the suffering bits of it. So what you want to do is to create deliberate transformation. This comes from the practice of personal growth. You aren't going to wait for a suffering to cause you to wake up. you're going to constantly be waking yourself up. You aren't going to wait for the slow, gradual accumulation of meaning schema over time. You're going to actively go out and seek the right mentors and read the right books and take Mind Valley Quest programs. So you're perpetually transforming. There's a term for this. I call it your rate of self-evolution, or your rose. Your rose has to be the most important thing in your life. And in fact, studies show that one of the greatest qualities you can have as a human being is this growth mindset, ensuring that you're constantly taking care of your rose, your rate of self-evolution. When you make this your number one thing, everything else in life grows with you. Contrary to popular belief, it doesn't make you selfish. It doesn't make you less of a mom, or it doesn't make you disloyal to your company, or it doesn't make you a selfish lover. In fact, you find that the quality of your relationships improve, because who doesn't want to be with someone who's constantly getting better? The quality of your business and your work improves, because your business will grow as much as you are growing. You raise better kids because people who are growing well become the best examples for their children. People playing at level 1 experience growth in a slow, unpredictable way, through suffering or through the slow accumulation of meaning schema. But people who understand the concept of rate of self-evolution and make a deliberate intent to read, study, and grow themselves, their growth is unlimited, and life gets better and better and better effortlessly. So as we open up our journals, I want you to reflect on these two things. Think of one moment in your life when pain led to growth. Was it someone who broke your heart? Was it a failure at work? What did you learn from it? When you start seeing that pain can be a great teacher, you actually become more capable of dealing with the inevitable downturns in life. And then I want you to write down who was a great mentor or teacher for you, or a book you read that gave you a new understanding of the world. Maybe it was a program from Mind Valley, or a talk or an idea you gained from our platform. Write that down. And then, if you feel so compelled, share it on the tribe so that we can all inspire each other. But we're not done yet. I have another exercise that I want to introduce you to. Now, the segment intending exercise that I trained you on is something you can do every morning. You can continue doing that as part of this program. Continue segment intending how you want your day to unfold. But now I'm going to give you a nighttime exercise. Before going to bed, open up your journal and write this down. The magic I witnessed today. What were moments of magic, of synchronicity, of love? Moments where you felt that there was a compassionate universe rotating around you, or that there was a benevolent force moving you towards your goals. Write down those moments. Maybe it was a synchronicity, maybe a word of appreciation from a friend, maybe a beautiful moment where you felt truly loved. Write that down in your diary before going to bed.